I'm Jen, this is Remembered Reads, and this is going to be the Booktube Geek Tag, which was created by J.D. Archer, and I will link his original video below. I wasn't actually tagged in this, but I saw a number of people doing non-bookish favorites, and this is basically a tag that does the same thing, so I thought it'd be fun to do the tag. Let's go! Question number 1 is, what is your favorite TV series? My favorite current TV series is Black Sails. The 4th and final season of this is airing on TV right now, and it is awesome. It is a prequel to Treasure Island with a bunch of real-life pirates mixed in. The first season has a bit of a weak start. The first few episodes are a bit trashy, but it's a show that just improves as it goes along. It has a very reasonable budget, so it has epic battle scenes as well as impressive period costumes, and the acting and the writing. It's just a fantastic show, so it's great. But if we need to talk about something that is more typically geeky, my warm, nostalgic fuzziness for the 90s always comes out for The X-Files. Not season 9, though, that wasn't the best. And I feel like because it's a geek tag, I need to say that my favorite Star Trek was Deep Space Nine. There's Cisco. In the uniform from the one where they travel back in time and cross over with the Tribbles episode of the original series, because you all needed to know that. Question number 2 is, what's your favorite movie? And clearly my geek answer has to be the original Star Wars trilogy. But my actual favorite movie is Lawrence of Arabia, which should surprise no one who watches my channel very often because it's a First World War epic, which is clearly my thing. It's just wonderfully put together. Peter O'Toole was a brilliant actor, David Lean was a brilliant director. I forget the name of the cinematographer, but I mean, the photography in this is gorgeous. All the scenes in the desert. You know, in the 1960s, Omar Sharif was probably one of the best looking men in the world. So, you know, there's that too, if you want to be superficial. Although a close runner-up is Das Boot, because I do love this. In between, there are 3 versions of this. One is a 6-hour miniseries, which is how it was originally aired. One is a 2-hour movie, but my actual favorite is this version, which is just under 4 hours, and it's the director's cut. Question number 3 is, what video or computer game are you obsessed about? Well, the game that I played the longest was the original Civilization, which I was playing from basically the early 90s until not that long ago. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily obsessed with that. However, if I want to go with something more modern, the 2 things that I really enjoy these days are BioWare's Dragon Age and Mass Effect series. So I'm really looking forward to Mass Effect Andromeda, which is coming out next month, so I'm super hyped about that. And yeah, I really enjoy all the Dragon Age stuff too. Question number 4, what cartoon do or did you love? I've never particularly watched cartoon series, so I'm gonna go with animated films instead, because otherwise I can't answer that question. But yeah, my all-time favorite is The Last Unicorn, which I think I've talked about in a video before. And the one that I picked up the most recently is Justice League Dark, which is not great, but it's alright. I was just happy to see some of the characters from this show up. It didn't need as much Batman as it has. As I was editing this, I just realized that I forgot question 5. Question 5 is, what's your favorite comic book? And my favorite currently ongoing comics are, right now, Midnighter and Apollo, which is actually a miniseries, and I believe the 6th issue is supposed to be coming out in about a week and a half now. Also, What Did You Eat Yesterday? And Real. And some of my non-current favorites are Captain Britain and MI-13, The Metabarons. Preacher is definitely one of my all-time favorites, although I don't know that I would be such a fan of it if I were reading it for the first time now. Also really like Garth Ennis's war story writing, so War Story and Battlefields are the 2. And also The Authority. Normally I would show the Warren Ellis, Brian Hitch first run, but the one that I actually reread the most is actually this one, Human on the Inside, which I don't think is the best character piece from The Authority, and obviously it's not important in the way that the Ellis and Hitch run was, but I just really like the art in that one. Question number 6 is, have you ever been to a geeky convention? And the answer is yes. I used to go to Fan Expo in Toronto, but I haven't been in years. I think the last time I actually went was in maybe 2001 or 2002, so it's been a while. Number 7, what place have you visited that would that brought out your inner geek. I think one of the sort of stereotypically geeky things that I did is when I used to go to Fan Expo. You know, there's always a few sellers who sell loose action figures, and a friend of mine and I used to always look through them and do that obnoxious thing. Oh, I have that one. I have that one. I have that one. And look at the old Star Wars figures. But question number 8 is, what would make your geeky dream come true? You know what would make my geeky dream come true? I wish they'd done. There was supposed to have been an expansion. This is not the one, but there was supposed to be an expansion of Dragon Age 2, which is not what I'm holding up. This is the Inquisition box, but close enough. I didn't bring that in, which got canceled because that game was very unpopular when it came out. And I mean, it's flawed, but I really liked it in terms of character. I thought it did some really interesting things with the player character that I had never seen in a game before, and frankly haven't really seen since. I think Inquisition was actually less interesting for me that way than 2 was, even though as a game it had a lot of flaws. But anyway, I would have loved to see what the expansion for that would have been if it had happened. So in my geeky dream, where I'm, you know, president of the universe, I would want to see that expansion. And that, I think, is the last question. Yes, it is. So since I wasn't actually tagged, I don't know if I should actually tag people, but what I'm going to say is, if you haven't done this tag, or another one of those non-bookish favorites tags that are going around, go do it. Consider yourself tagged. And that's it. Ciao.